Well, well, just barely fitting in the picture there. We've got 3 fans. I picked all 3 of these up at an auction for a whopping $1 a piece. So I got $3 in these fans. I've got 2 1980s vintage Galaxies, which is cool because I've always thought those were cool fans. And I've got a weeny modern Lasko. The Lasko only has one job, and apparently that one job is low speed only. The Galaxies seem to run fine. I'm sure they could benefit from an oiling. I do intend to be looking up a spat spare video on how to do that, because if anybody's going to have a video, it'll be him on how to oil a Galaxy. Because he's mentioned the procedure's different. If not, I'll shoot him a message saying, okay, I'm a fan noob. How do I do this? I'll just give you all 3 of these fans. I don't know if they've been sitting in storage for any amount of time. They're all pretty dirty, especially this one right here. I haven't decided how I'm going to go about dealing with that yet. Here on top looks like just surface dust. There's a little bit of rust right there. I think a good scrubbing will take care of it. Oddly enough, this really rough one has a completely intact handle. I've just got the power cord looped through to hold the back grill on so it doesn't go everywhere. This fan actually, you can see it's got non-original power cord, and that plug definitely needs a little bit of grinding on it. I thought this looked like a vintage extension cord, and well, if you look right there, that is very clearly the General Electric logo. So yes, this is actually a fairly long General Electric extension cord that somebody put on the fan. So, and I mean, you can see I can plug it in way over here, and uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Didn't have it all the way in the outlet. And something I've just noticed is this fan is a 2-speed model. That's kind of interesting. Well, let's go and plug up the second Galaxy. Let's move the fan, move the camera to a little better angle. And it should be noted that this second Galaxy does appear to have the original cord. And I just noticed the plug has LMP, Lasko Metal Products. So that's pretty neat. So we will That's medium. Ridiculous how quiet these things are, though. I think they're running a little on the slow side. This one's not moving much air, but of course it is quite dirty. So that could just, that could be the problem. It's just really dirty that's impeding the airflow. And of course, it needs oiled. So, let's unplug the Galaxy and plug up this modern, weeny modern Lasko. Which, to its credit, at least has a nice power cord on it. You can see those blades are just a little bit wobbly too. Medium nothing, high nothing. I don't know if there's something wrong with the motor or the switch. I have not troubleshot it done that much in the troubleshooting department. So that's the tale of the 3 fans. I'm taking apart the nastier of the 2 fans, and would you look at that? I didn't notice this at first, but you can see what happened is when they replaced the power cord, which I might add is really neat the way they kind of went in and out of those holes there, but the power switch cracked. And they just wrapped a boatload of tape around it, but this is still exposed, and frankly, I'm sure it will never ever cause a problem, but at the same time, I'm not comfortable leaving it that way. So I've got to figure out what I want to do about that. Unfortunately, Galaxies use a slightly different mounting method for the switch than the 2 Clippies that most fans use, Lakewoods and China Pride fans, so I'm not quite sure what to do with that. So anyway, I'm going to just keep tearing it apart because I do want to see if I can. I'd like to get this cabinet, usable again. It'd be cool to keep this all original, but if it turns into that's not going to happen, I do have a parts Galaxy out in the shed that, cabinet-wise, is in better shape. So I might say to heck with it and switch the cabinet over. However, it also has a busted switch. So we'll see what we'll do. See what happens with that. First, I just want to get this motor off so I can just give this thing a good scrubbing and see what I can do with it. Well, I took off the electrical tape, and I think that was the right move. The tape was all that was holding the hot line into the switch. And the other little problem is, you can see it's busted up. If I noticed this earlier, I'm not even sure if I even plugged it in. But the good news is this is a Leviton brand switch, and it's got a part number of 813-850. So providing that is the part number, and providing Leviton still makes it, maybe I can get a new switch for this fan. And maybe the parts fan too. Yeah. The normal method is just stick a paper clip down in there, or at least that's my understanding, but this switch is junk anyway, so. And that, if you're in a pinch, you saw what I did, back and forth, we'll get the switch off. So, anyway, whoops. Way to bump the tripod, Weasel. This electrical tape is also losing its stickies. So I'm going to get that extension cord out of there and see about getting the motor out. Well, leave it up to Murphy's Law. The switch on top uses a 1/4 inch drive. These down here, 9mm metric. Unfortunately, right behind the camera, the dishwasher's running, but in back, I've just taped up the wires real quick onto a cord just so I could run the fan. I initially ran it up on low because I got low and high confused, but as it ran up on low, you could slowly hear it going faster and faster as the oil worked in. So anyway, here it is on high now. And all slight bit of irony, I actually wired it to one of these fuse plugs off of a modern fan. I've got a different cord I'm wanting to use with this. that should actually match pretty nicely. So, and it's a little bit kind of on the long side. I don't have the little clip on here yet. These blades are going to come right back off, and as soon as this dishwasher load's done, I'm putting them in the dishwasher along with the grills. Gonna kind of do the spat spare method and see how that works. Oddly enough, my dishwasher is of similar model to the Spat Spare and Harley Badger parts washer. Yes, I'm giving them a lot of shout outs in this video. They do not have a video on oiling a Galaxy motor, oddly enough, but I did find one on YouTube, and I already forgot the user, but oil Galaxy box fan or something like that, you'll find results. But really, just take the motor apart, and the motor comes right apart, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And the motor just comes apart like you think it would and goes right back together like how you think it would. So if I could do it my first time, so can you. Well, this is the better of the two Galaxies. You can see part of the logo has flaked off. I did the Spat Spare technique of duct tape over the label, but it peeled some of it off. I should have gone with my gut feeling to use packing tape under the duct tape. That was my gut feeling. I didn't go with it. So I'm paying the price now. But anyway, the fan has cleaned up pretty well. I mean, it's still a little dirty in places. The grill is not perfect, but it's perfectly usable. Still has all that marker on top, which Germex sometimes will take this off. I don't know. I'm half tempted to leave it because, well, that gives it character. But, and you know, I do think it is kind of cool to, you know, this is a part of the fan's life. You know, so if I don't try to get it off and it doesn't come off, fine. That's fine. I mean, it's part of the history of the fan. Maybe that's a little silly of me, but that's how I feel about it. But, my family room is quite messy at the moment. There we go. As I try not to trip over that old CRT monitor, which is going to go to the recyclers. And then over here, those are the grills right there. But there's the top of it. Handle on this one's still good. Well, here's one of the Galaxy box fans a couple days later. I still have to give the grills a strong case of super gluing. But you can see they're still a little dirty, but they're a lot cleaner than they were. Unfortunately, I dug up my bottle of super glue, and despite having the cap on nice and tight, it has completely dried up. So, Cap, you only had one job. But super glue's cheap enough. I'll just get some more next time I'm at the store. But that's probably not going to happen today. It probably won't happen for a while, as some of you may know that I've been sick lately. And as of yesterday, my temperature spiked from the mid-99s up to 101.5. And last night, my fever finally broke, and I've been down to normal all day. So that's good news. However, the doctor has me drinking milk and magnesia because of another problem. And let's just say it is really, really kicking in now. So we'll just leave it at that. But most of you, I think, know what that means. Anyway, you can see the blades have come out looking absolutely beautiful. We will come over here and flip this around. By the way, I will point out that I think I mentioned this, that the power switch was completely... I did not feel safe using it. I'm going to attempt to locate a replacement, though. I've got the power cord heat shrunk onto the negative motor lead. I found a replacement power cord other than that brown extension cord. For right now, I just got a wire nutted to the high fan speed, and the low fan speed I just have taped off. I'm not really going to be using this fan, though, until I get it all together, though. This is kind of for test purposes. Let's kind of bring this down here. I could actually still use some more light. Hold on a second. Much better. Walmart clip light with an LED bulb. Perfect. Down here, what I did with it is I did not have the original strain relief, so in this random cord, I have no idea what this cord came off of, but the white looks a lot better on this fan than that brown extension cord, and this is a little bit thicker insulation, even though it's still 18 gauge. Well, I don't know, that grandma extension cord they used might have been thinner, I don't know, but anyway, I put some heat shrink on here, and I put a rubber grommet in here to so that the wire wouldn't chafe on the metal. I didn't think it'd be a problem, but better safe than sorry, and I had both of these just sitting around. I've just tied a knot in the power cord just right on the other side of this, and I have a zip tie going through the knot to keep it from pulling through, as stated. And let's see here, I've oiled the motor. I've got this soldered and heat shrunk, and then this will go into whatever replacement switch I have. You can see here's the low fan speed right here, just simply taped off. Again, I'm not going to actually use the fan like this. It has simply been done this way for test purposes. Well, of course, this solder and heat shrink job is permanent. Anyway, there's the fan right there. So you can see I've just got everything ran up the wiring chase, held in with zip ties to keep everything neat and safe so the blades don't whack it. Got the clip on nice and secure. I found that a deep well socket works really good for putting this little clip on, by the way. So I'm going to put it around back. I'm going to turn the fan actually around backwards. I'm going to show you a quick, run it up real quick. And I am going to show it to you backwards so the wind noise won't be a problem. So, like I said, I've got it, so to speak, hot wire to the high fan speed. It's got a nice sound to it. You can see the cabinet's a little beat up, and I've tried to get it back into true as best I can, but I don't have a handy dandy bizarre fur head to do that kind of work for me, so what I've done will have to do. Now let me go get the other fan and show you how that one cleaned up. Okay, here's the other Galaxy box fan that had the grills on this one don't really, well, yeah, there's a couple spots that need super glue, but there's no reason why I can't use it as is. You can see the grills and the blades have cleaned up very well. The top is still has all its magic marker glory. I ran the power knob through the dishwasher. It's a little wet because I just noticed there's a coffee stain right there. I must have spilled a little coffee in it this morning. Or on it, I'm sorry. I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of tape residue, but it's not coming off very easily. See, the back of this looks... Man, this back grill and the blades look, I won't say brand new, but darn close. So let's just plug this in. Got an extension cord sitting right here behind the camera, in case you're wondering. Then I'm using the power of my light. So let's plug this in. Let's go for low. Even on low and facing the other way, I can feel the breeze over here. Medium. Hopefully I can find it. I misplaced one of those little wire things for to hold the electric wires in place. So right now a zip tie is having to stand in. If I find it, I will put that back in.